Hey, everybody, and welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Your Lord of Pennies is with me as well. Say hello, Satsu.
Hello, Satsu.
And I'm your Lord of Falling Down the fucking Stairs. Man, I gotta stop doing that. I'm Ranting Monkey. You're on my channel, so you should know that by now. Anyhow, I was just asking these guys how they were. That's a lie. That's not what we were talking about before we started.
Nope.
No.
But how are you guys?
I'm great, you liar.
Satsu, God damn, you are Satsu. Scribe, how are you?
I don't know. Who am I?
Okay,
I'm not even sure who I am at this point. Jesus.
Oh, it's Mr. Baker's birthday. We will be singing to you in a moment. Yeah, guys, I fell down the stairs again, and this time I hit the front of my head really hard. So if I'm a little out of it, I apologize. Not that you'll be able to tell. But with that out of the way, and to start the show in a wonderful fashion, Mr. Baker, are you out there? Are you listening? This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
It's too early for happy birthdays. You should have waited.
Happy birthday, dear Mr. Baker.
But I'll forgive it because we're on Monkey's channel.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, motherfucker.
Happy birthday, dude. I hope you had a great day. No, actually, what we were talking about was we hooked up with Stunlock Joe and Chaos Eve joined us, and we ended up playing video games till 5 in the morning again.
Again. And
Mr. Baker
it was
says,
fun.
"Is this my gift? Can I give it back?" No, there's no refunds, no returns. Yeah, that Divinity is an excellent game. I can definitely see the appeal of playing with friends, though, because I got to tell you, I played some single player, and those NPCs are kind of douchebags. But well, not NPCs. The what do you call a character? Your minions, your henchmen,
Companions.
I mean, I guess
Companions.
NPCs would still be, well, not really.
You have a super chat, by the way, that you're
Your
missing.
allies.
Oh shit! Thank you, God. I have chat up. Okay. X Bubba Hotip, thank you. Maybe invest in a house without stairs at this point. Believe me, I'm considering it. And Snubber, thank you. 2 minutes and I come into a birthday song. Satsu, how are you going to deal with these colonizers?
Man, I'm still working it out.
We're teaching him to be a colonizer.
Nah, man.
Don't fuck up our game here, Snubber. Do we have anything before we get started? Oh, I do have something. I talked to Lady Monkey last night. So, guys, Saturday we will be doing a nipple stream.
Oh.
Oh boy.
Everybody keeps asking for it. Scribe did his thing last night, so we will be doing the nipple stream Saturday.
Well, that ought to be traumatizing for you.
Yes. We're going to go from a nipple stream into zombie killing. So by the time we get there, I'll probably be really whiny. But yeah, do you guys have anything before we move on?
I do. I got
What do you got?
I got a message from one of our longtime viewers last night, or actually say early this morning. It is also Night of Charlemagne's birthday.
Oh,
Now, because of where he lives and his work schedule, he's not going to hear this until his birthday. So he's not here, but he has asked that we sing happy birthday to him now. So when he does listen to the stream, it'll be on the correct day for him.
cool. So, even though I know you're not, I still have to do the opening because this has become tradition. Night of Charlemagne, are you out there? Are you listening? This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Get your lazy ass on stream and listen to this.
Happy birthday
Got these grown ass men singing and you ain't even here.
Happy birthday, dear Charlemagne.
Y'all sound like zombies right now.
Happy birthday to you.
Wow.
Nobody's gonna stop me.
Nope.
Why? No, I'm gonna wait until you like suffocate.
I was trying to wait until you fell out of your
Charlemagne,
chair.
happy birthday. I hope you have a great day, bud. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones movies, hit that like button, share our stuff. I don't make content very much anymore, but these guys do, so make sure you share everything. We are shareable. We're like herpes, but not itchy. Thank you, Sanguine. Damn it, I worked that night and have D&D. I'll get you next time, Monkey. Next time. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Not as Charlemagne's in the chat. He said he wasn't going to be here, and that was the hope. Well, either way, you asked for it. I followed. Hey,
there you go. You got it. He can listen to it again.
He heard me tell him to get his ass in here.
That's true.
Oh, here you go, Sanguine. If you want, since you're going to miss it, I will take pre-orders for nipple pinching. Hang on.
Pre-orders? You got your Post-its ready, right?
Yeah, that's what I was just pulling out. That's what I said.
Right.
Hold on. So anybody who can't make it Saturday, who would like to donate to my torture and listen to it later, we'll do that as well. So, hi, Malice Doll Monkey. Hope you're feeling better. Shit. No, but I appreciate the thought. Scribbles. I understand sometimes you tell us about the news.
On occasion, although today's one of those days where not a whole heck of a lot happened. I'm sure we'll probably get more mileage out of MSS News today, but some things did occur that aren't like, I guess, big news, but it's news regardless. First, a bit of a unfortunate tragedy this morning when a military plane with 9 people on board crashed near Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, shit.
All 9 people aboard an aging cargo plane making its final military flight Wednesday are believed to be dead after the aircraft nosedived into a Georgia highway. The Puerto Rico Air National Guard WC-130 was carrying 5 crew members and 4 passengers when it crashed, Major Paul Dolan of the Puerto Rican National Guard said. It was flying from the coastal city of Savannah, Georgia to Arizona, where it was to be decommissioned. A Puerto Rican government source told CNN that there appear to be no survivors. One witness said the plane made a loud, strange noise just before the crash. Another said the ground shook as if a bomb went off when it hit. Video from a business near the crash shows the horrifying final moments of the hulking plane, a version normally outfitted to do weather reconnaissance. The jet with 4 turboprop engines on its overhead wing banks left as it comes down. The plane then heads straight down behind the trees. Seconds later, a fireball and thick black smoke appear. Let's see. Truck driver. Oh, sorry.
Let me get this. Miss Someone. Here's my pre-order for Saturday. I'll listen to it Sunday morning. Thank you so much. And fuck you. Pre-orders are available for nipple pinching. Go ahead. It was its final flight. I mean, that's a horrible way to put it.
Yeah.
And I realized it was being decommissioned, but damn.
And of all the days for it to screw up, of course. Truck driver Roger Best works for a transportation company in Garden City, about 4 miles south of the crash, and saw the plane overhead before it plummeted. It was so low when it passed over that it rumbled the ground beneath his rig, he said. His company handles hazardous materials, he said, expressing gratitude that the aircraft didn't crash in his immediate vicinity. Quote, this area is a giant bomb and the whole 5-mile radius would have blown up, he told CNN. Calling the pilot a hero for avoiding the area. He barely made it over the tree line, and it looked as if he tried to turn and nosedive straight into the ground right in front of me. And then there's pictures of the aftermath, and it's just awful. I mean, of all the days that's going to have some kind of mechanical blow up or whatever, it's on its last. It's on its way to no longer be in the air anymore.
I'm not getting on a plane where it's listed as its final flight. I'm just not. Ex-Bubba Hotip, thank you. You are lucky, unlucky you fall on my drunk night. Nipple pre-order, plus I hope my bank doesn't lock my card this time. Thank you so much.
Jesus.
I'm not, see, last time we did this with pre-orders, I just took the numbers. I'm actually getting, you guys will get your shout-outs this time too. Because I'm writing down who did it. Wow, that's yeah, I'm not getting on a final flight. I'm just not.
Let's see. In less sort of dramatic news, I suppose, the black men arrested at a Philadelphia Starbucks reach settlement agreements.
This is actually really cool.
2 African-American men whose arrest at a Philadelphia Starbucks sparked protests over racial bias have reached agreements with the coffee store chain and the city, excuse me, and have pledged to support a $200,000 effort to encourage young entrepreneurs. The details of the financial agreement that Dante Robinson and Rashawn Nelson reached this week with Starbucks are confidential, the company said. The parties agreed to work to, quote, develop specific actions and opportunities. The 2 men will give input to former U.S. Attorney Eric Holder, who is working with Starbucks on its diversity efforts. Robinson and Nelson also reached an agreement with the city for $1 each, said city spokesman Mike Dunn. I don't know why they should have gotten any kind of settlement from the city, because the city didn't do anything wrong, but that's just me. Men will work. What?
You're not wrong, but I mean, if this went to trial, it'd cost the city much more than that.
Sure.
And so, yeah, just settle it. And I like the way the guys did that. They're not taking any money. They took $1, which in most court things you have to, and the rest is all going to. Maybe that's not the best way to spend that money, but I like that they weren't just in it for the money themselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
well,
I appreciate that.
Well, the Starbucks settlement is confidential. We don't know how much they got from Starbucks.
That one, sure. Well, Starbucks owes them some money, I'd say, in my opinion. But, I mean, the city one here.
I mean, bottom line is they still use this opportunity to help people. So, fuck it.
Yeah.
The men will work with the city and a nonprofit organization to develop criteria, review applications, and award the $200,000 grant, Dunn said. The grant will establish a, quote, pilot curriculum for public high school students to develop the skills necessary to pursue their dreams of being entrepreneurs. The men had initially asked to use the bathroom at the Starbucks on April 12th, and then they just go over the story again, which we've covered many a time at this point. So there you go.
Thank you, Point Curation. The video lexicographer is interested in people's off-the-cuff definition of culture and counterculture. If interested, see his latest video, also nipples. Got you down. Yeah, I'll check that out. Apparently, Weibo's been running around in her bathing suit all day.
What?
I don't know. She's talking about it in chat.
Pixar didn't happen.
There you go. I'll draw you some pics. Did you, Scribe, did you see the pic that Jim Healis put on Twitter yesterday to me? Tweeted out to me?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I'm going to find it, and I'm going to make sure you look at it while you get the next. Do we have another story?
I got one more, yes.
Cool. So
Which
I'm going to...
actually falls in line with current mindsets.
Cool, and then I'm going to, I'll get this ready for you. So go ahead.
Redskins cheerleaders detail 2013 trip to Costa Rica involving topless photo shoot. Several former Washington's Redskins cheerleaders felt a 2003 trip to Costa Rica crossed the line beyond their usual responsibilities. According to Juliet McClure of the New York Times, the women were required to be topless as part of a calendar shoot, while male sponsors and FedEx Field suite holders were allowed to watch. Several of the cheerleaders were also picked to be personal escorts at a nightclub later that night, although sex was not involved, and the team denies that participation in that portion of the trip was mandatory. Director and choreographer Stephanie Jajokian claimed that it was a voluntary addition to the trip, but the cheerleaders apparently saw it differently. Quote, "They weren't putting a gun to our heads, but it was mandatory for us to go," one cheerleader said. "We weren't asked, we were told. Other girls were devastated because we knew exactly what she was doing." The cheerleaders, who were not paid for the trip, Oh, that's nice. Also said they had their passports taken away from them upon arriving in Costa Rica, removing their only form of identification. However, Jojokian said this was so they wouldn't get stolen. Okay. The treatment of cheerleaders across the NFL has come under more intense scrutiny as of late, with several questionable stories coming to light in recent weeks. A former Dolphins cheerleader filed a grievance against the league last month because she said she was discriminated against because of her religion and gender. I think we talked about that one.
Yeah.
Molly Knight of Marie Claire. Isn't Marie Claire like a jewelry store or something? Or am I missing?
I don't know. That sounds familiar, but
I don't know. Let's see. Delved into that case and another where a Saints cheerleader faced discipline for her social media habits. 2 years ago, a lawsuit discovered some NFL cheerleaders were making less than $2 per hour for their work. That sucks.
Damn.
So, yeah, that was a bit of a smorgasbord of information there, but there you go.
$2 per hour. Jesus Christ.
So they took him to Costa Rica.
Yep.
The team claims that it was voluntary to go show off your titties for a calendar.
Uh-huh.
The girls were under the impression that they had to do it.
Uh-huh.
And the girls' passports had all been confiscated so they wouldn't be stolen.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and some of them went on to be escorts at a party later on.
But no sex.
Sure, I'm sure there was no sex.
Yeah.
I'm positive nobody got super gonorrhea that night.
So just this side of not being white slavery.
Yes, this
human
is not
trafficking.
sounding good for the NFL.
Yeah, exactly. So
okay,
but it was 5 years ago, so it doesn't count anymore.
Right. I mean, they got home safe, right?
Presumably so.
Weibo's
going to send out Instagram pics of her bathing suit.
Cool.
And
for those of you who want to see her in a bathing suit, there you go.
Well, if she's really clever, she'll just send out pictures of the bathing suit just laying on a bed.
Right.
I see my bathing suit. Here it is. Oh.
That'll disappoint a lot of people.
I don't have much to add to that other than what team was this? I'm sorry.
The Redskins.
The Redskins. They might not want to do that again.
What is that?
See that fucking picture?
Is that
Jim
real?
Healis, the bad man. No, I don't think that's real.
Yeah, I was about to say. I was like, what? I'm trying to figure out, like, ew, gross. Anyway.
But I had to see that, so I'm making sure everybody else has to as well.
All right. But that's all the news stories I had pulled up. Because, again, guys, not a whole heck of a lot happened today. So.
I don't know anything about the news. I played video games until 5 in the morning. I woke up sometime around 12, played a little bit of video games, and then fell down my stairs. And
yay! Oh.
Yay! Seriously, that's the highlight of my day. Oh, that's so sad. Oh, God. And Weibo says that's what she was going to do, and you screwed it all up.
Oh, I ruined it because I have the same sense of humor as you. Yeah. Oh, well.
Guys, when we run out of news for the night, we usually do this thing we like to call MSS News. If you would like to be a participant in MSS News, all you have to do is go over to the Twitter machine, pick a story that you like, and hit it with hashtag MSS News. We will do our best to get to all of them. We can't hit them all because you guys are awesome and send us a ton, but your contributions are greatly appreciated. And Scribbles, do we have one ready?
We do. This one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier. Well, it's not a Florida story. It's a Vermont story, but might as well be. Man charged with shooting smoke detector to quiet it.
I've been there, my friend. I have been there.
A Vermont man is facing charges that he used a shotgun to silence a smoke detector in the kitchen of his apartment.
Oh.
Police say 2 shots fired Monday afternoon. How can you miss with a shot?
Holy fuck.
Two shots.
I was thinking like a 22 or something. No, this motherfucker broke out the shotgun.
Hold on. Police say 2 shots fired Monday afternoon from the 20-gauge shotgun owned by 68-year-old Leroy Mason. Leroy Mason of Barton hit the adjoining wall of an occupied apartment. Police say Mason has complained about frequent false alarms from his smoke detector, and he was upset fire crews wouldn't relocate it, so he took it upon himself to relocate the smoke detector and shot it with the shotgun. Emergency personnel say they took the shotgun from Mason, who then pointed a handgun at them while demanding his shotgun back. Emergency crews disarmed Mason. There were no injuries. He pleaded not guilty on Tuesday and was released.
Thank you, Sanguine. Falling down the stairs was a highlight of your day. How much did you hate gaming with them? Or is tumbling down the stairs your kink? 20 or 10 of 20. He's working on a nipple pinch there. No, I had a great fun, but I count that as yesterday because that was before I fell asleep. I've had a fire alarm that wouldn't go off, and those are annoying as hell.
That wouldn't go up? Like turn off or like actually activate?
The battery had died in it, but something else had gone wrong too. So even replacing the battery wouldn't shut the goddamn thing up. And there was nothing to do except beat this thing to death with a hammer. So I've been there. I don't know if I would shotgun it in an apartment building, but that seems a little bit of overkill, actually. He relocated it all over the place. Yes, he did. 6. Yes, he did. Just so you know, false alarms are generally caused by dust. Don't use a gun to air it out. You can use a can of air. Fair enough. Fair enough. However, I think his method worked. I bet that fucker isn't being a false alarm anymore.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Let's see. Another one from Colleen Bernier. Man guilty of murder didn't hear the verdict because he escaped during the lunch break.
Oh, my God.
A Georgia man on trial for murder in April didn't stick around to hear the verdict. Instead, 26-year-old Verlaine Laguerre slipped out of an Atlanta, Georgia courthouse during a lunch break April 20th, according to the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. More than a week later, the escaped convict is still on the run. Georgia authorities described Laguerre as dangerous.
How the fuck did... How?
Well, hold on. Though Laguerre wasn't there to hear it himself, a jury found him guilty of murder, felony murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, and possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony. Laguerre and an accomplice were sentenced to life in prison plus 5 years. Let's see. Where'd it go? The murder conviction came years after Laguerre and his victim, 19-year-old Matthew Hardiman, got into a October 2011 fist fight in southeast Atlanta after exchanging dirty looks, prosecutors said. Laguerre and 2 accomplices drove back to the scene after the fist fight, armed with an assault rifle and a handgun. They shouted out the car window to a witness, asking, "Where's your boy?" according to prosecutors. Almost instantly, Hardiman appeared, and Laguerre and his accomplices unleashed a barrage of gunfire that left Hardiman dead. The murderers then fled the crime scene. Hardiman's body, shot 50 times, was discovered by his family in his front yard. So let's see, where do we get to the escape? Oh, they don't detail the escape. Okay, so he's just on the run. Ta-da!
Y'all hear that?
Yes.
That's thunder, y'all.
Na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
And the thunder rolls.
Bow, bow, bow. Thunder rolls.
If the stream cuts out, sorry.
And the lightning strikes.
Nuts, that was 50 times. Right?
That's
how
what
many
he said.
times he got shot? Scribbles.
Sorry, what?
He got shot 55.
Yes, 50 times. Is Monkey breaking up or is that me?
He wasn't breaking up for me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, then, am I breaking up?
You sound fine to me.
Okay. Let's see. Got one from.
Wait.
Oh, okay.
We can't let this go uncommented. This is a man who is on trial for murder, right? Okay. Murder, felony murder, and two other charges. And he was able to slip out of the cafeteria.
Well, on a lunch break. They didn't detail how he did it or what the situation was.
Thank you. Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm not going to be able to read any of this.
Einar Jameson.
Einar Jameson. I can read Jameson. Carpe phallus amicus. Is that right? Did I say that right? Cool. Hey.
Seize the dick or something.
Seize the wiener. Okay, now we can. I just want to know how he got out, because that seems.
They did not say.
Doesn't that seem like? I mean,
you'd think that somebody on trial for aggravated murder and everything else would probably be under a much tighter lock and key. Yes, but I don't know.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see. So this one comes from senior staff reporter Jack the motherfucking Cochran. Let's see. Biohacker, famous for injecting himself with herpes treatment, is found dead in float therapy tank. Let's see. I was just going to play a video on me. Stop it. The 28-year-old CEO of a controversial biohacking company was found dead in a Washington, D.C. spa on Sunday. The body of Aaron Trawick, CEO and founder of Ascendance Biomedical, was discovered in a spa room on Massachusetts Avenue shortly after 11:30 a.m. Sunday. The investigation remains ongoing. No evidence suggests foul play. Ascendance employees Andreas Strumer and Tristan Roberts told Vice News that Trawick was found in a flotation therapy tank. These soundproof tanks are typically filled with body temperature salt water to promote sensory deprivation. And if you've ever seen the movie Altered States, you know exactly what that is.
I was going to go with Daredevil, but okay.
Now, Daredevil works too, if you're talking about the Ben Affleck one.
Yes, the Ben Affleck one.
Which is the worst one.
Well, it's the only Daredevil movie.
I would hazard to say that every episode of Daredevil season 1 was a movie.
It wasn't a movie. It was not released as a movie. It was a TV show.
Come at me, bro.
Plus, Ben Affleck in that horribly gay Daredevil suit was just awesome.
Affleck.
Can I put some money down on this fight?
Do you remember when they first released the pictures of that?
Yes.
That was so bad. Yeah. If you guys have not seen the Daredevil movie, you have to see it. It is one of those so bad it's good kind of movies for me.
Well, I found a copy of the director's extended cut for like $3 at a used DVD store or whatever. So I did buy that just because, I probably paid too much, but I paid $3 for it. So I do have it in my collection. I don't recall if I ever watched it.
I think one of the funniest criticisms I saw about that movie in particular was when they were fighting in the park. And dude's like, who the hell do I get mad at? A man for fighting a woman or a woman for fighting a blind dude?
Yes. No. Who I get mad at is the writers for thinking, gosh, how can we completely ruin the idea of secret identity right away? I hated that movie. I really did. There were parts that I liked okay. There were some parts in the origin flashback I didn't mind too much, but holy crap, that was bad. Especially Bullseye. Ugh.
I hated the outfit and I hated Bullseye. Man.
Anyway, let's see. Ramen Lewis sends us this one. Top Ramen Lewis. Simpsons creator says of Apu criticism, quote, people love to pretend they're offended.
And he's right.
Excellent. I'm glad that they're not, well, it seems like the creative team isn't bowing to it, except for the guy that does the voice, Hank Azaria, is kind of hedging on whether or not he's going to do it anymore. But anyway, Matt Groening, the creator of The Simpsons, has weighed in at last on the Apu controversy, and Indian American critics are not happy about it. Mr. Groening and others have been called on in recent months to defend the character Apu, a thickly accented Quickie Mart owner who has been criticized as racist. While speaking last week to USA Today, Mr. Groening was asked if he had, quote, any thoughts on the criticism of Apu as a stereotype. Not really, Mr. Grading responded. I'm proud of what we do on the show, and I think it's a time in our culture where people love to pretend they're offended. Mr. Grading declined through a Fox spokeswoman to comment further. Hari Kondabolu, a comedian and the creator of The Problem with Apu, a documentary released in November that described the way Apu had shaped widespread perceptions of South Asians, said on Twitter that Mr. Grading sounded, quote, like every other troll on the internet who didn't see the documentary. He wasn't talking about the documentary, dipshit.
Is Jordan in chat?
Jordan 250?
Yeah, I would do this myself, but I need this done. If somebody else has Photoshop, you can do it too. I need Apu's head on that on that prom girl's Chinese dress or Japanese. What was it? Chinese dress.
Okay.
Because it will be the most offensive thing ever.
Oh my God.
Can brown people appropriate things?
And I want to send that to the comedian who made the documentary, because fuck him.
I mean, that tweet of his, he's basically just advertising his documentary.
Yeah, that's all he does. That's all it's for.
Yeah, because Matt Groening didn't say anything about the documentary. He's talking about people who get offended. It's like, you didn't even see the documentary. How do you know that? You don't know anything. Oh, for God's sakes. God. Making a career out of being offended. Nice work if you can get it, I suppose. Let's see. We talked about the modesty ponchos last night. Let's see. What else do we have? Oh, do we want to talk about Kanye West?
What's Kanye up to now?
We can do that at YouTube time.
Oh, yeah, you did a video on it. Yeah. So
okay. Video on it. Okay. Interesting. This one also comes from Top Ramen Lewis. That's your new name now. I'm just going to call you Top Ramen Lewis. UN, United Nations, received 54
You guys keep going. My
okay.
window has rain coming in it, and it's getting on my computer. That's not cool.
Yes, you're right. That would not be cool. You also have a super chat if you can hear me.
Shit, that could have been bad. Hey, I'm back.
You have a super chat.
Thank you, Sanguine, a comedian that earned his way with stereotypical accent on his way up, but now that he's named and whining is the key to fame as a problem. 15 of 20.
Oh, he's paying up towards a nipple.
Yes, he is.
I've never seen Hari Kondabolu do stand-up. Did he lean on his origins as part of his act?
I've never seen the guy. Never even heard of him before. Apu, the problem with Apu.
Let's see. The United Nations received 54 allegations of sexual misconduct in 3 months. I don't know how many people work at the UN, so I don't know what the ratio is there. The United Nations has long been in the spotlight over allegations of child rape and other sexual abuses by its peacekeepers. It has. That's news to me. Especially those based in Central African Republic and Congo. But the latest figures...
you haven't heard of those?
I'm not off the top of my head, no. It's I guess I'm not surprised by it. I just hadn't heard of it before.
Yeah. They had a real big problem with that like 2 years ago, I think it was.
Okay. But the latest figures again suggest that sexual misconduct spans the entire UN system. The UN said Tuesday it received 54 allegations of sexual abuse and exploitation against U.S. peacekeepers and civilian staff and groups implementing UN programs in the first 3 months of 2018, including one that involved an 11-year-old girl. UN Deputy Spokesman Farhan Haq said 14 allegations involved UN peacekeeping operations, 18 involved UN agencies, funds, and programs, and 21 were related to UN partner organizations. One allegation involved a member of a non-UN international force operating under a UN Security Council mandate. Hawk said the allegations involved 66 accusers, including 13 girls under the age of 18. He said 2 women and 1 girl were pregnant and paternity was established in 1 case.
Thank you, Snubber. This story would be ironic if they're being done by the Saudi women's rights ambassador.
No.
Yeah, the UN has had problems for a while. I thought they'd cleaned it up because I haven't heard about it for a little bit. But yeah, they're peacekeepers. Might be keeping the peace, but they're also touching little girls how they shouldn't be. Yeah, it's nasty. You can look into it. It's kind of like the Cosby thing. You can look it up. It's out there.
This headline sounds like the plot line to a sci-fi movie or something. This comes from Froggy. Okay. Artificial intelligence is cracking open the Vatican's secret archives. Does that sound like some kind of like Dan Brown, Da Vinci Code kind of deal?
It does.
Yeah, that's weird.
The Vatican's secret archives, not much of a secret anymore, is one of the grandest historical collections in the world. It's also one of the most useless. Okay. The grandeur is obvious. Located within the Vatican's walls, next door to the Apostolic Library, and just north of the Sistine Chapel, the secret archives house 53 linear miles of shelving dating back to more than 12 centuries.
How many miles?
53 linear miles of shelving.
Jesus. Okay.
It includes gems like the papal bull that excommunicated Martin Luther and the pleas for help that Mary, Queen of Scots, sent to Pope Sixtus V before her execution. In size and scope, the collection is almost priceless. That said, the archives isn't much use to modern scholars because it's so inaccessible. Of those 53 miles, just a few millimeters worth of pages have been scanned and made available online. Even fewer pages have been transcribed into computer text and made searchable. If you want to peruse anything else, you'd have to apply for special access, schlep all the way to Rome, and go through every page by hand. But a new project could change all of that. Known as Encodos Ratio, it uses a combination of artificial intelligence and optical character recognition, OCR, software to scour these neglected texts and make their transcripts available for the very first time. If successful, the technology could also open up untold numbers of other documents at historical archives around the world. OCR has been used to scan books and other printed documents for years, but it's not well suited for the material in the secret archives. Traditional OCR breaks words down into a series of letter images by looking for the spaces between letters. It then compares each letter image to the bank of letters in its memory. After deciding which letter best matches the image, the software translates the letter into computer code, ASCII2, and thereby makes the text searchable. But of course, this is hard to do with like old cursive and calligraphy and shit. This goes on for a long time, explaining how the OCR software recognizes particular letters and stuff, and especially letters used in the Dark Ages when things were spelled differently and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, Satsu, we're getting a little bit of noise on your side there.
You know, your gain's up or whatever again.
Oh, hold on.
There we go.
Yeah. Anyway, so I'm hoping they'll find the Necronomicon in there somewhere and unleash hell.
Wouldn't it be cool if they found something in there that actually mattered? They're not gonna.
Well, and if they do, they won't release it to the public.
Probably from the aliens.
Yeah, they find something that says the Bible is a lie. It's like, no, can't let that in.
Man, that's a lot of books to do. They should get Google on it.
Shit. Let's see. What else do we have? All right, this one comes from Andy Felterbush, otherwise known as Mike Unstinks. So I got your name this time, Mr. Baker. Let's see. Oh, it's a Florida man story. Actually, a Florida couple story, looks like. They got married on Clearwater Beach Sunday. Then they got drunk and arrested. Okay. A man and a woman who got married on Clearwater Beach Sunday got drunk, got into a fight, and were both arrested on domestic battery charges. Daniel Patrick Gillen, 61, and Gigi Riposta, 49, were arrested Sunday night. Both are from Davenport, which is in Polk County. Police were summoned to a Clearwater Beach motel in the 400 block of South Gulfview Boulevard around 10:30 p.m. Sunday night. Officers learned that Gillen and Raposta had been married on Clearwater Beach earlier that day. Quote, both parties became intoxicated today and have been arguing throughout the day. Raposta said Gillen at one point grabbed her by the neck and pushed her to the ground, which caused scratches on her leg. Gillen, meanwhile, accused his new bride of attacking him and scratching him on the chest. He had scratch marks and injury to his torso area, which was consistent with his statements, an arrest report states. Both were arrested on charges of domestic battery. Good job, guys. You didn't wait long. And you both look like winners.
Yeah, good job. Way to celebrate.
Let's see. Florida governor candidate on Kanye West. There's a lot of books I need to send this brother. You want me to read that one? Or should I?
Let's hold that off until.
Yeah. What? All right, this one comes from Subcon Jazz. Let's see, is this an Ohio story? Well, it's a Florida story, but it deals with a Columbus man. A Columbus man flew to Florida to smoke pot with President Trump.
What?
Florida man now just draws them in from afar. Officials in Florida have arrested a Columbus man who they say flew to Florida and wanted to meet with President Donald Trump, as well as smoke marijuana with him. According to an affidavit from the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office, 27-year-old Tyler John Marone arrived at the Palm Beach International Airport on April 18th with intentions of meeting President Donald Trump and smoking a joint with him at Mar-a-Lago, unquote. Marone reportedly said he found a credit card and thought it was a gift from God, so decided to buy a plane ticket to Florida to see the president.
Okay.
Okay. Keep going. I'm sorry.
He told investigators he wanted to drive to Mar-a-Lago to speak to the president. Marone was charged with possession of a Schedule II substance, methamphetamine. He told investigators it was Adderall. This guy is amazing. I found somebody's credit card. I bought a ticket to Florida to go smoke pot with the president.
Well, I mean, at least he had a dream.
Let me do this one before we get to YouTube time. This sounds creepy. Sure. This also comes from Subcon Jazz. The father knew that his friend drugged women. Still, he brought the friend back to his home.
Oh.
A Florida man is accused of drugging and sexually abusing an 11-year-old girl while her father lay unconscious in the next room. West Palm Beach resident Carl Kenry Gonzalez sits in Palm Beach County Jail after his arrest Thursday on one count of sexual battery against a minor under 12. And the probable cause affidavit says the girl's father told Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office investigators that Gonzalez sometimes drops Xanax in women's drinks in bars. He thought Gonzalez did it that June 2nd night at a bar after he picked Gonzalez up at the airport. Oh, this is from like last year, I guess. Still, he brought Gonzalez and a couple of friends back to his home where his 11-year-old daughter was sleeping. When she woke up the next morning, she told detectives her dad remained asleep, but Gonzalez was putting a pill into his mouth. Even after her sleeping father spit out the pill, she said she saw Gonzalez put another in his mouth and force a swallow. He told her they were energy pills and gave her 2. She blacked out, then recalled waking up in her father's bedroom with Gonzalez next to her. She remembered going to the living room and falling back asleep. But when she came to consciousness again, she was back in her father's bedroom, and Gonzalez was leaning over her. She feigned sleep when she realized Gonzalez was touching her on the hips, legs, and her privacy, she told detectives. I'm going to stop reading this.
I hope he gets shot in the face.
Gonzalez, a native of Nicaragua, is being held without bond. I hope he's held forever and sent off somewhere awful.
Why the hell would you bring somebody? You know what? I'm just going to keep. They fuck both of them. And I hope that little girl gets out of there and never has to deal with that shit again.
Let me just read this headline, then we'll finish up. This comes from Shiogorath. Facebook announces it's creating a new dating app for meaningful relationships, not hookups, Zuckerberg says.
Yeah, that's how all dating apps are used, jackass.
Yeah, good luck.
Guys, thank you for the stories. And I know we don't get to everybody's. I'm so sorry. We just get so many because you guys are an awesome audience. YouTube time. I'll go first. I didn't do anything. Satsu? Well, let's do Scribe first because Satsu's is actually something else we can talk about there. So, Scribbles, what'd you do today?
Ads.
Oh,
lots
yeah, you do
lots of ads.
How do we want to do this?
It's entirely up to you. If you want to turn Satsu into YouTube and Deep Topic or something, or...
Yeah, let's do it that way. So, guys, last night, one night only, Scribbles took ad requests, and we're going to sit back and enjoy some of those. So, take it away.
I'll need one of your help here in a minute with one of them, but I'll
help.
All right. So again, guys, last night, the only night this month that I'm taking ad requests. It was just an experiment to see, how it goes, because people have been asking a lot for them, and I thought, okay, we'll give it a night. But yeah, please, 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 on Friday and forward throughout May, do not request any more ads. I'm not going to take any more requests. If I do this again, and I will let people know, yes, no, or otherwise before then, if I do this again, it'll be the first show I host in a month. So like the first show I do in June would be the next time I take requests. That's my experiment. If I decide not to do that, I will give you a heads up. Anyway, appropriately enough, Three-Sided Coin wanted this one. I think I'll just read the ad, not give the preview unless it's absolutely necessary.
Sure.
Now, for one night only, specifically last night, comes the return of ads to Lords of the Night. Scribe Light Nights brings you a limited engagement of his audacious advertisement acumen for just his first hosting of the month in order to better maintain his mental stability. To next take advantage of Scribe's prodigiously prolific proprietary propaganda, wait until next month's announcement, if he makes one. Can you stand the suspense? Well, you have no choice. Custom advertisements on Lords of the Night, the pesky ad block's worst enemy. This message has been brought to you by Three-Sided Coin. So Mashisu requested this one. Have your big hairy raisins turned into a rat's nest of itchy, irritating mange? Do you yearn for the days when your scrotum was as smooth and as supple as tongue butter? Then you need the Nut Plucker. This handheld rotary tool possesses our patented hair seeker process designed to grab and yank out each pubic hair individually. With just a few excruciating passes of the Nut Plucker, your ball sack will be looking 10 years younger and ready for action. So make your gonads glow with the Nut Plucker from Mashisu Corporation.
The Nut Plucker. Why does that make me so uncomfortable?
Yeah, well, that was.
That sounds like something that would be on Manscaped.
Yeah, possibly. Okay, so I'm gonna tweet out the text of this next one.
Okay.
You wanted to help with this one, right, Monkey?
Yeah, I'm opening my Twitter right now.
So I need so at the little parts with the exclamation point in between. Let me know when you see it. I need you to do your best sort of Barry White.
You know what? I can do.
Okay.
It might be better to have. Satsu, what are you doing over there?
Satsu, do you know who Barry White is?
Can you do a good Barry White?
I think my voice is a little too high for that.
You got that deep. I can do it. I can
do
it.
You can do
we
it.
can do it.
All right.
Wait, hold on. What are we? Did he send you something on Twitter?
Yeah, it's in our group chat.
In the group.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So the parts with the exclamation points is where I need a soulful, deep thing to.
I will do my best. Okay, let's.
Okay.
Let me clear my throat here. Get a drink. Hang on.
All right. Okay. All right. A lot of production quality here, guys. Okay, here we go.
We'll both do it. How's that?
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Oh, all right. Well, if you guys can do that. All right, here we go. When you've got a binder full of women that you need to monetize, who do you call?
Pimp
Scribe.
When ginned up statistics say your business can grow by 300% just by adding women, who can bulk up your stable of sweet tail?
Pimp Scribe.
Pimp Scribe. Whoremaster extraordinaire with a wide-brimmed hat that can see for miles and a diamond-headed cane to smack a bitch in style. So when you need to ladyfy your labor pool, call the purple velveted plumber with the gold-plated plunger.
Pimp Scribe.
Brought to you by Tall Person.
Pimp Scribe.
Pimp Scribe.
Pimp Scribe.
All right. Next.
Shut your mouth. There you go.
Okay. Did somebody break something?
Fumble. I dropped my keyboard.
He dropped his keyboard. I know that sound now.
All right. So this one is appropriate enough, so given that the participation we just had. Long ago, an idea was born to have a monthly live stream starring 3 YouTube shitlords that would be called That Time of the Month. Alas, it was not to be, because somebody got too caught up playing video games to give a fuck. But now, that time is over, and the prodigal son has returned to take his rightful place as one of the lords of the night, bringing wit, wisdom, and a perspective unmatched by his honky colonizer co-hosts. I give you Satsu 2 cents. This glorious introduction has been brought to you by Snubber 13.
That was great. That really was.
Punch in the gut.
and historically accurate.
Yes, I do my best. Okay, so this one came from Sanguine. And God, this sometimes I gross even myself out. The warm and welcoming smell of yeast in the morning. And no, I'm not talking about your grandma's unwashed panties. I'm speaking, of course, of baked goods. Yes, baked goods. Goods that are baked. Whether it's freshly made bread or Mr. and Mrs. Good down the street getting high on their own supply, baked goods are always a treat for the senses. Baked goods from Sanguine Corporation. Nonsense you can count on.
Your grandma's unwashed panties?
That's nasty.
Yeah, I was thinking a monkey at that point. Now for something kind of serious, I guess. Ethics. The moral principles that govern a person's behavior or the conducting of an activity. Standards. An idea or thing used as a measure, norm, or model in comparative evaluations. Ethical standards are the hallmark of a person's social and professional reliability. They signify a consistency of action and engender the trust in others of what they can expect of someone. If you want to be lackadaisical in your moral pursuits, bring chaos into your life, and lose the trust of others, then abandoning any ethical standards might be just for you. But for the rest of us, we just won't play doctor with Donald Trump. This public service announcement has been brought to you by Sanguine Industries and the Ad Council. All right. I'm particularly proud of the catchphrase for this one.
Okay.
All right. Sex is like Chinese food. You're going to want some more an hour later. But what do you do when she's as hot as Szechuan and you don't have a condom handy? Ducky brand PP pluggers are here to help. Made from high-quality bamboo chopsticks salvaged from an abandoned Panda Express, PP pluggers will not only keep your semen out of the sexual equation, but will also act as a splint to keep you straight and steady all night long. Ducky brand PP pluggers. They're the eureka for your urethra.
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Dear God. PP pluggers.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it.
That is terrible in all the ways.
That was awesome.
Okay. So now I have a series of ads that all kind of fall within the same theme. So they might also be sort of telling a story in order, kind of, but we'll see.
Okay.
courage, sacrifice, nerves of steel, oxygen, all the necessary components of a United States Space Force officer. In the U.S. Space Force, you'll fight over land, sea, and air in the upper atmosphere and beyond, in the most technologically advanced military spacecraft known to mankind, engineered by Sanguine Industries. See your recruiter today and tell them that you want to be a spatial aviator and help to protect us from the threats that are not of this earth. The United States Space Force, keeping America safe the world over.
Dun, dun, dun.
And next, still don't know how to pronounce this person's name, but I'm just going to screw it up for fun. When you find yourself on leave from the mighty United States Space Force, consider docking your S-15 fighter rocket at Crater Valley Moon Base. Located at the heart of the Tycho crater, Crater Valley sports one of the most active and thriving lunar colonies this side of the Sea of Tranquility. Take some time to explore the wonders of the Tycho crater, and afterwards, find a little intimate R&R over at Sir Adamantine's House of Celestial Sins. And as always, your safety is guaranteed under the watchful eye of Space Marshal Dirk McGuffin. Crater Valley Moonbase, brought to you by Mr. Zzz Incorporated. When you need a little poon, come up to the moon base.
Thank you, Chaos Eve. I miss Scribe laughing at his own ads. I'm glad you decided to bring them back and that you're enjoying it.
Well, thank you so much. I hope everybody enjoys them. I have a few left. I'll try to get through them so we don't take all night. But and there's at least one that I have to hold on to because I was given a specific date on which to read it. So,
yeah.
All right. Here we go. Hello, everyone. I am Scribelight. Like me, I know you've always wanted a moon base. And now that we have one, thanks to the fine people at Zzz Incorporated, the journey should not end there. Right now, the world's first moon base is little more than a fueling station and bordello for Space Force fighter jocks. I want to change that. That's why I'm asking for donations on GoFundMe to build a block of luxury apartments on the moon. And you can be one of the first tenants. For your modest donation of $5 to $75 million, the luscious luxury of La Luna Via apartments might possibly be yours. We only need $50 billion to break ground. Stretch goals include oxygen and indoor plumbing. So donate today. Our treasurer is Judge Death, who is certainly trustworthy. See you on the moon. Okay, and so I got to give a little preamble to this one. Circus Zero wanted a 90s ad for Lords of the Night action figures.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you're going to have to use your theater of the mind to think about these action figures as I describe them. And of course, no action figure team would be complete without a little theme song ahead of the ad starting, but you have a super chat, so I'll wait.
Thank you, Sanguine. I fucking love the moon-based continuity within the ads. It's a thing of beauty. 20 of 20. There's another nipple.
Yes.
Man, that's 4 nipple pinches already.
The moon base Crater Valley lore I try to build upon with each one ever since I started doing that stuff. I have most of it in my head. I didn't mention that the time jump of dinosaurs invading the moon base. I'll get that in there sometime. All right, so here we go. Lords of the Night, streaming into adventure. It's the Lords of the Night. Unleash the power of ranting monkeys' nipples of justice with real spring-loaded nipple missiles. Throw the book at crime with some dumb American's novel-tossing arm action. Strike fear into the heart of evil with Satsu 2 cents mini-bike crashing assault. And help flush the sewage of corruption with Scribelight's water-powered plunger attack. Will the Lords of the Night be able to stop the evil non-author Dark and his bevy of bondage bimbos? Only you can decide. Collect all the Lords of the Night action figures from Circus Zero. Lords of the Night.
I would watch that cartoon.
I forgot to add something about a Lords of the Night playset, but we don't really have I should have done the Turtle Cave playset. Maybe next time. Turtle Cave playset for next time. Okay. All right, now we get to effectively a movie trailer, even though it wasn't stated as such, I couldn't help myself. It was only a matter of time. The malevolent entity that is Florida Man has conquered the minds of humans for decades, sowing chaos and insanity in its wake. But now, Florida Man has set its sights on the only place left to go when Hollywood runs out of sequel ideas: outer space. Entering the minds of the innocent citizens of Crater Valley on the moon, only one man has the might to save humanity: President Donald Trump. It is an epic battle for the future of mankind as the United States Space Force has to attack the very people it is sworn to protect in order to save the future from madness. Snubber 13 Studios presents the all-new sci-fi epic Moon Poon 3: The Florida Ultimatum.
Fucking Moon Poon.
Moon Poon. Okay, and this one, I went a bit of a different direction with the. Actually, I did this a couple of times, but Chaos Eve wanted a helmet made of a wooden bucket with holes in it. This is what my brain spat out. Are you journeying through a land of might and magic, but your mop bucket helmet is slowing you down because you can't see anything out of it? Then you need Holes by Chaos Eve Industries. Holes create a space or an opening in something that wasn't there previously. Just apply 2 holes to your bucket helmet, and soon your wooden armor will have as many outlets for your eyes as a strange Portuguese woman has for pooping. Holes from Chaos Eve. Round things that you can see through.
You went to Two Butthole Lady on that one.
I did.
I appreciate that because this was inspired by me, and yes. I appreciate Two Butthole Lady.
I had Monkey on my mind when I was writing that one. Okay, now this I really went in a tangent. So Mashisu said what the ad topic is what I would do if I had a vag. Now I do not know why this happened. Okay, I have no idea. But when I was thinking about it, I came up with song lyrics. And this song goes to the tune of If I Had $1 Million by the Bare Naked Ladies.
If I had $1 million.
All right, so here we go. And there's no, it's not a whole song. It's just a few lines that I came up with. Okay.
Here we go.
If I had a vagina, if I had a vagina, I would bake myself a cake. A vagina can make yeast, you know. And if I had a vagina, if I had a vagina, I'd go and dodge the draft. I don't want to get shot, oh no. If I had a vagina, if I had a vagina, I wouldn't have any nuts to pluck. Owie, 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 owie. That's it. That's all I came up with.
You get caps for that one. Thank you, KSE. Bravo, Scribe. Bravo. That was for your one for her.
I'm glad you like it.
Oh my God.
Remind me, I want to say something before Satsu starts when you're done with ads.
Okay. All right. Let's see. How many more I got? I got 1, 2, 3. All right, 3 more, and then the one I have to wait until the particular day. So 3 more ads.
Okay.
And the one that I still have outstanding that I haven't heard back from yet is Point Curation still has one on his tab, but that's it. Oh, though I do have an extra ad I have to read. That's right. Okay, I'll get to that in a minute. So let's see. Here we go. Alice Morgan News Service presents Fear at the Border. Every day, criminals work to sneak into our great nation, ignoring our laws and spitting in the face of genuine and legitimate immigrants. But the wonders of American science and ingenuity has created a device to expel such trespassers once and for all. The Freedom Cannon. Based on the designs of famed artillery expert Gerald Bull, the Freedom Cannon can send anyone anywhere on the planet using a suborbital arc. So do your part, citizen, and report an illegal immigrant today, because the Freedom Cannon is always in need of more ammunition. Would you like to know more? This was supposed to be a Starship Troopers type thing, so I
Gotcha.
did my best there. Okay, and now comes one of the most baffling ones I got. Okay, so W.R. Costin, I did my best. I hope I did this right. I did my best. Greetings, America. The good people of Ontario would like to make a proposal to our friendly neighbors to the south, the people of the great state of Michigan. Please take Toronto off our hands. We of Ontario feel that Michigan is far better suited for the people and culture of Toronto than Ontario could ever be. With its massive skyline and overwhelming urban sprawl, it would be an economic boon to the Wolverine state. But we know how much of a burden absorbing a new and unknown population can be for a territory. That's why we are willing to take on Detroit as the latest addition to our province. Because we're neighbors, and neighbors help one another. So if you're thinking of ditching Detroit, Michigan, think of Ontario. Loyal she began, and loyal she remains. This peaceful and friendly proposal has been brought to you by the good people of Ontario and Emperor W.R. Costin.
I would make that trade.
Okay, well there you go.
Detroit is a shithole.
You gotta vote there. Okay, and almost lastly, technically I have an extra one. This one's from Mr. Baker. War never changes. But the patterns of war as we know it had to begin somewhere long ago. And now that story can be told. Coming soon from Mr. Baker Studios and the History Channel. Nearly 5,000 years ago, in the fertile cradle of civilization, Mesopotamia, the empires of the Sumerians and Elamites fell into a bloody conflict so catastrophic that it would become the first war in recorded history. Enem-Baragasi, the king of the land of Kish, would lay waste to Elam and its people, and in retribution, take all the weapons of the Elamites so they could neither raise arms or defend themselves ever again. Featuring a cast of thousands of computer-generated characters and using cutting-edge technology to recreate the landscape and tactics of the ancient world, see how humankind made war upon itself for the very first time. Genesis of Conflict, the first war in history. Check your local listings.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay, and lastly, I was kind of hesitating as to whether I'd do this one, but it was an ad. So our most, or at least I should say my most prestigious, prolific troll put a comment on last night's stream. So let me read that real quick so I can give you the full impact.
Are you talking about who I think you're talking about?
Could be. It could be.
Probably.
Because I think they put something on mine very
recently. Is he fucking with you guys again?
Let's see.
You'll see. Let me pull this
up. All right, here we go. So here's the comment. Man, I wish I would have made the show last night. If I donate $10 now, does your highness think he can put forth the effort to come up with a cheesy, poorly written ad that your fans will laugh at anyway, even if it is really stupid? It really must have been taxing to come up with gems like her sex toy, come on down to Sanguine's butt plug emporium. Fucking moron. To which I responded, and this comes from someone we all know as Touch Me.
Yeah, that's him.
So this is how I responded. I said, sorry, Touchy. Like I said, one night only. But for anyone else reading this, if you're looking for high-quality trolling at dirt-cheap prices, look no further than Touch Me. With tireless care and finely aged vitriol, Touch Me will be the sun to your Icarus wings, bringing lofty dreams crashing down to earth with just a few corrosive keystrokes. Touch Me by Touch Me Corporation. Ego too much? Then you need a touch.
That dude's got issues, man.
I kind of like him. I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of refreshing, you know, that much of sort of like, I don't know, whatever. There you go.
Yeah.
So those are ads, guys. I have one more left, but I am instructed not to read that until the 5th. I am going to do my damnedest not to forget to do that on the 5th. But thank you again so much, guys, for all your generosity. I hope you enjoyed the ads as they were. Point Curation, you still have yours on the tab, so just let me know in Twitter when you want that or what you want that to be. And yeah, There you go, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, and with that, it is Satsu's turn for YouTube time. And Satsu, what'd you do today?
Well, I talked about the Kanye situation that took place on TMZ. But before we get to that, I wanted to read the last message that Touch Me left me.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I'm reading that right now. What a
Did you see
douche.
it? Yeah. He said, you'd never be able to hit SDA in the face with a pie. That fat fuck would eat it right out of the air every time.
What a dick.
Fucking asshole.
Real quick, I have a super chat. Thank you, Cassie. Make that 20 for an anti-knit monkey. Also, will you be my man of honor? Figured I'd leave Satsu for Joe to ask for his. Sure. And well, I'd be your monkey of honor.
He'd be your monkey of honor.
So what's old Kanye up to? Because I got off of the stream last night and I saw this and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Okay.
So why don't you tell us about this, Satsu?
So Kanye was on TMZ. It was a 30-minute video that they released. Now, mind you, every fucking outlet in existence is only showing about 2 or 3 minutes, and obviously it's the 2 or 3 minutes that they care about. But basically what he said in this little segment that everybody is sharing is, he said, when you look at slavery and you think like 400 years, and then he questioned like 400 years, that's crazy. Like, it's y'all was slaves for 400 years and it was all y'all. At that point, it kind of seems like a choice. And that's what he said. But all the headlines say Kanye said that slavery was a choice, as in black people chose to be slaves. And I'm like, those are two very different statements, almost completely different. So I made a video to clarify on what he actually said and to give some people some perspective on what he meant by what he said. And I didn't really touch on the fact of whether or not I agree with it, because that's another conversation, which is going to be the next part of the video. But what he said was, like, the emphasis was on the time frame. So he was stating that after 400 years, you know, of whatever, it seems like you're choosing to be there at that point because you can do something about it. And my argument to that was, he's not wrong, because somebody at some point at the end of that 400 years decided to do something about it. And here we are today. So it's not like he's incorrect, but it's not as simple as he's putting it. But people are super pissed, like really pissed, because he said that black people chose to be slaves. And I'm like, that's not what he said. And people are mad at me now.
Yeah, when I heard that, my first thought was, because I only heard like half of it in the radio this morning, and I thought when he said they're making a choice or whatever, I thought it was, my first thought was they're making a choice to be offended by something from 400 years ago.
No. Well, first of all, because like what I touched on, what's fucked up is the video that I made was contextually about a situation that never happened, because what he was actually talking about was today, like now, people are mentally choosing to be enslaved. And he was referring to the people who claim that slavery is still here, claiming that like freedom of thought, is a bad thing, that type of shit like that. He was saying that people who stifle their own freedom of thought and who, kind of live their life based on what outside people tell them they should, he was saying, like, you're mentally in prison, like you're mentally a slave. You're a slave to society and the mainstream media. And that's what he was really talking about. Like, that was the whole, point, and how this shit started from the very beginning. But in this particular talk, because they had asked him about, the 400 years of slavery, and he said, based on the time frame, if you had been a slave that long, then it seemed like it was something that people were complacent with. You know what I mean? As opposed to, just doing something about it. But like I said, that is a very simplistic way to look at it, and just doing something about it doesn't account for all the people who died trying to do something about it before the mass group of people decided to revolt. But bottom line is, people are arguing right now on whether or not they had a choice. And I'm curious what you guys think about.
1 second here. Flare Fritz, thank you. Take Chaos's anti-nip away. Can't let her help your nips, monkey. Not going to sit back and let Lady Monkey be deprived of fun. Love you and Lady Monkey. YouTube tried to censor the super chat even when there weren't cursing. What the fuck? Love you back. And I don't know what's up YouTube's ass with censorship. I really don't. I wish I did. I didn't mean to cut off the end of your sentence there, Satsu.
No problem. I saw the super chat too. I was just on the road. My bad.
No, it happens to all of us. It does. You always have a choice, but there's also the idea of being born into something.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah. It's hard.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Scott. Go ahead.
I was just going to say is that, I mean, when the laws and the consequences for acting outside of those laws disallow you from being anything other than a slave, there's no choice in the matter, especially if your family's involved or your children, your wife, or your other family members. Yeah, that now your interpretation of, putting, as Christopher Hitchens would call them, mind forged manacles on your own brain to limit your thinking or your skepticism and everything else. That's a different kind of thing. But as far as like actual historical slavery in America, yeah, there wasn't much of a choice involved in most places in the country at that time.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends. Like, my argument is it depends on where you're coming from, because whenever I put this post up on Twitter, I don't know if you guys saw it, but I was saying that, like, people who say I don't have a choice, it's one of the most, like, it's just, most of the time it's not a true statement, because I feel like you always have a choice. And people's argument to that is, well, what if you do that and you get killed? I'm like, then your choice had a consequence that you didn't want to deal with. Yes, death was the consequence, but you still made a choice and you still had a choice. But people are arguing that if death is the consequence, then no, you don't have a choice. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. That doesn't negate the fact that it's an option. It's just a really bad option. So I'm like, an option being very poor or very bad or like that's going to lead to your death doesn't make it not an option anymore. It just means that you don't want to die, so you're not going to make that option. But that doesn't take away the option.
No, I absolutely agree with you there. There's the old saying, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees. And there is a lot of psychology and stuff that goes into this, but eventually, if you're going to have any kind of revolution, somebody has to be the first to do it, and that person's going to probably die. And I completely understand why slaves wouldn't revolt. Do you want to die? Probably not. And when your masters are the ones that have all the guns and the law behind them, yeah, you don't stand much of a chance at all. But you still always do have that choice. That doesn't mean it's a good choice. Go ahead.
I have a breaking news.
What's up?
Right now, it's just a headline. This is a developing story. House explodes while police on scene for barricaded person.
Oh.
A house in Connecticut exploded Wednesday night while the police and a SWAT team were outside, having responded to a report of a barricaded person. At least 3 police officers in North Haven were seen being placed into ambulances. Residents near the home said the police department's Facebook page said on the police department's Facebook page that they heard the explosion and felt their own home shake around 8:30 p.m. Firefighters worked to get the blaze under control more than an hour later. State police said they were assisting North Haven police with the investigation. Police did not immediately release any details about why they were there, but issued road closures and asked that people avoid the area. And then there were sounds of several smaller explosions were heard. Yeah, that's all they have said right now. So as if stuff comes out in the next hour, I'll let you know.
Damn. I need to get to the title of the stream, but I want to get back to what we were talking about here. So let me get to the title of the stream real quick. This would be YouTube drama. Ben Shapiro and Alex Jones are arguing on Twitter. and it is glorious. And Alex Jones has challenged Ben Shapiro to a debate.
Wasn't it because Ben was telling Kanye not to go on his show or whatever?
Yeah, Ben suggested Kanye not go on the show, and Alex has taken offense to that. Real quick, I have a super chat. Thank you, Shady Grin. Counter Fritz's chaos
Jesus
counter
Christ.
and have a bag of ice on standby. Thank you so much. I really, really want these two to debate. I think that would be fucking beautiful, especially if Alex Jones goes all Alex Jones during the debate. Because Alex can be a thoughtful, smart guy, but that's not what makes Alex Jones fun. What makes Alex Jones fun is when he like rips off his shirt and does really weird shit. And so I hope that happens. I did want to talk about that more, but this Kanye thing is actually really interesting to me. Do you guys have any other drama you know about that we need to touch on?
I have another breaking news.
Uh-oh.
The release of Americans held in North Korea is imminent, sources say.
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the release of 3 U.S. nationals currently detained in North Korea is imminent, according to an official with knowledge of the ongoing negotiations. U.S. officials insisted at the time that their release, quote, must not be related or used to loosen the main issue of denuclearization. Okay, so it might either be like an olive branch or maybe some kind of leverage. Either way, I hope they get out quick and they're not brain dead or something like the last guy.
Thank you, Flair Fritz. Counter the counter to my counter.
Oh,
I should
Jesus.
not spend 40 on this shit, but I will not be beaten. Ree! Ree!
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Somebody posted in response to this whole Kanye thing, the Eddie Murphy line about this from Delirious. Do you guys remember that?
No, off the top of my head.
Not fully, no.
Okay, so way back in the 80s, guys, this was a show Eddie Murphy did called Delirious. If you haven't seen it, go see it, or find it and watch it. It's funny and it actually holds up pretty well. And he's talking about how black guys that he knows would talk, they're like, if I was a slave, I would have told them to suck my dick.
Oh, yeah.
He goes, you know what? The first guy off the boat, that's what he did. He got off and he said, suck my dick. And then you hear, whoosh. And everybody else was like, okay, I'll do it. And there's some truth to that. Real quick. Thank you, Terry Diamandis. To be fair to Alex, I'm not a huge fan of them putting chemicals in the water to turn the freaking frogs gay either. I'm with you there, Terry. Leave the frogs alone. Let them be hetero if they want to be. There's a mind fuck that goes with that. And I don't know if people understand that. When you're a captive, and look at the people of North Korea. I mean, as far as we can tell from what we've seen of them, they buy into the whole Kim family nonsense. And it's not that they can't be smart people. They're Asian. Of course they can be smart. But they don't know any other life. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So when that's all you know, the idea that you're going to stand up and stand up to your oppressor, it can happen, and it's happened throughout history. But if history's taught us anything, that kind of thing goes really, really slow until something explodes. It's rarely, one guy stands up and everybody follows him. It is a slow buildup with a few people planting that seed until finally everybody breaks free. So right. So I think Kanye is being oversimplistic on this.
Yeah, and that like some of the criticism that I got because I was talking to like family and friends or whatever, because they were when I said that shit, they were like, "Oh, am I gonna have to fucking chop you off the list?" And I'm like, no, I understand the fact that the simplicity in his statement, is taken away from a lot of things. There's a lot of things that you still have to consider and you have to think about in regards to why people didn't revolt. You also have to think about the people who were born into it, who were never taught that there was any other way, like who didn't think that the life that they were living was even wrong. Like they just thought this is how people live. Yep. Like that's certainly a thing that existed. But I'm like, no matter what, you can't say that there isn't a choice. because there always is a choice. Like, you know, and that was what really fucked me up though, is like, I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree. I'm just stating a fact about decisions. Like, this is just a straight up. Now, obviously, if you don't know that that choice is on the table, like if you don't know that there's any life outside of the life you live, then technically that person didn't, because they don't know of any other choices other than what's in front of them. And I totally understand that. I'm like, but for the people who do, they didn't have any choice. I'm like, how did slavery end then? How did it end? If everybody didn't have a choice, then how did it end?
Well, partially because the white men started fighting over it.
Well, I know that, and it was a part of like the the Industrial Revolution or whatever, too, because they said that slaves were starting to become not as profitable and not as useful as machines were. And
you don't have to feed a machine,
right? And I get that, but there was still a fight. Like, there was still a battle. There was still, you know, civil wars and that type of stuff, of people literally saying like, no, this is not going to be accepted anymore. On top of that, that shit is happening right now, of people revolting and rebelling against whatever it is they feel is going on in the world right now that they have a problem with. It's happening every damn day, damn near.
Real quick, Corey, thank you. Friend near the explosion said they sent in SWAT. Oof.
Right, yeah. The SWAT was already there when the house blew up, apparently. They were just outside getting ready to try to breach, I guess.
Anyway, sorry to cut you off there, Satsu.
Okay.
I've had many arguments over this whole idea of choice, and when your only choice is bad choice or to just accept your life as it is. My mom was abused as a child. And I used to ask her, I'm like, why would you put up with that? And she said, when you're growing up with it, you don't have any other choice. And she said, and I told her, I'm like, if it was me, that wouldn't happen. And I was young when I said this. And she's like, if you grew up that way, you wouldn't know any other way. And part of me feels like I would be the guy they used to make the after school specials about, who kills his parents if they abused him. And part of me understands that, you know, if that's all you know, that's all you know. So if in a situation like that, you can, you know, put up with it or run away. Those are not great choices, but those are your choices. Or hopefully go to a counselor and maybe somebody will help you out. You end up in the system and it's even more fucked up.
Right.
And it's hard to talk to people about this because they make it sound like you're supporting bad choices or supporting people ending up dead or hurt or worse off than they are right now.
Well,
and it's not, but
is like frowned upon in emotional situations. Like, nobody wants you to look at a situation for what it is, when, you know, it's a conversation about how they felt about it. And that's what I was trying to explain to one of the people I was talking to. I'm like, emotionally, I get where you're coming from, and I get why you feel that way, because it just feels wrong to even think about the fact that, you know, or to think about somebody saying, well, they could have done something. But it's not me saying that I am blaming them for not doing it, or I don't understand why they didn't. But you saying that they literally could not have done anything, like they didn't have a choice at all, like that's objectively false. Like, it's not true.
It is.
They could have made a choice. It just would have been a very bad one, probably, for them.
Yeah, like, we had slave rebellions. There were several. It didn't work out well for the slaves, guys. But I mean, there were some who rose up and ended up dead for it. But they tried.
And to be fair, another one of the criticisms I got was like, even if it is objectively true, how useful is it to really like point that out? And I'm like, I mean, to be honest, I couldn't really answer that question fully. I'm like, I don't know. But I just got a problem with people saying things that are patently false.
Nope. Says Jordan Peterson says that if you were in Germany in 1930, you would not have resisted the Nazis, contrary to what everyone thinks. There were also psychological things at work. Yes and no. It depends on the person. I mean, there were people in Germany who resisted the Nazis. They moved. They like took care of Jews in their attics, hid them. There were people. Not everybody in Germany supported the Nazis.
Right. Not only that, and the reason that you don't know about a lot of the people is because they were killed when they did it.
Yep.
They were killed and their bodies were disposed of. So it's not like that some people didn't make that choice. Because when I was talking to somebody, he's like, they didn't have a choice. And I'm like, they did. It was just a bad one. He was like, yeah, but that choice could have gotten them killed. I'm like, you just called it a choice. You literally just said that it was a choice.
Well, see, the problem is that we think of choice and it's like value meal number 1 or value meal number 2. And
right.
No, there's hard choices in this life too. Real quick, I mean, we can continue the discussion. I'm happy to, but it is 10:30, guys. That means it's your time. Questions, comments, concerns, conspiracy theories, conundrums.
I have something.
What's up?
So I thought I'd piggyback a little bit on this to take care of Point Curation's ad request. He actually he put it in the chat. So Point Curation would like you to know about the video lexicographer. And right now, the video lexicographer is curious about people's definitions of culture and counterculture. What are your off-the-cuff definitions of culture and counterculture? This question and plug has been brought to you by Point Curation.
It's actually a really good question and one that's been flying around lately. Anyway, guys, it's your time. Throw all of that stuff in chat, and we'll do our best to answer and respond.
What do you think, Monkey?
Culture is the dominating set of norms in your society. And counterculture is people who are resisting it.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. Now, if they're asking what we believe the current culture and countercultures are, I don't really know. I mean, because any answer that we could give would be totally based on what we've surrounded ourselves with.
Well, here's where this question is coming from, and it's mostly coming from Paul Joseph Watson, who says that conservatism is the counterculture right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not wrong. You see these people who argue with him like, well, Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the White House. Sure. But they don't control anything else. If you look at media, how many times have we seen a company just browbeat into changing some minute rule? We just saw fucking Starbucks has to shut down their entire fucking operation for half a day to train somebody because one guy was an asshole, or one lady, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Social justice is the culture right now. It is the idea that you can't question women at all. Women are awesome. They can do what we do, but they do it bleeding. That's our culture right now. And the counterculture to that is people standing up and going, that's bullshit. So whether that's conservative or not, you can argue that, but there's definitely a left-wing slant in the U.S. right now. At least in the U.S. If anybody fucking gives me any shit about left-wing, I will smack the shit out of you. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, sorry. Any other thoughts on that?
Not
really.
Did you guys see the Red Dead Redemption trailer?
No, but I need to check that out.
I did, and I agree with Mundane Matt's take on it.
Oh, yeah?
It's a pretty looking game, but it looks boring as fuck.
John Pierre, are you subscribed to my channel?
Speaking of Jean Pierre, he wants to know when you're going to do a face reveal, Scribe.
No idea.
He asked that to me, or did he ask Scribe too?
Yeah, Scribe too.
I have no idea. Haven't even really thought about it. So
you've never seen our resident Negro? He shows his face quite often.
Like very often.
That's how we know he's actually black.
I've shown my face several times.
He just did it the other day with his unboxing, which you should go watch. Let's see. Or providing an alternate to the prevailing culture. Yeah, I mean, that's what counterculture is. What are your thoughts on the Kanye memes? Some of them are juicy. Some of them are great. I mean, he has provided a lot of humor lately.
Oh, yeah. The whole situation has been hilarious to me.
Yeah, I actually have a deep topic I want to talk about when we get time. So if we have time tomorrow, I have one that kind of relates to Kanye. At the end of a long day, crack open a cool bottle of Scribe Light. Your username sounds like a light beer, Scribe. Any thoughts?
It's purely coincidence because I hate beer.
That was brought to us by RJ Lightning. Let's see. Women are fucking creepy. Sometimes.
Who's creepy and why are they fucking them?
I'd fuck a creepy bitch. Let's see. Yet another question about Red Dead. Saw that one. Are you not entertained? Hit the like button, says Nuts. Yes, do that shit. You guys know. Look, I fell down the stairs today and bounced my face off a wall. I need some love. Got that same question. Jones is better than Shapiro. It depends on what you're looking for. Shapiro's a smart guy. He really is. Jones is more entertaining by certainly. Jean-Pierre, monkey face reveal when I get better internet. Have any of you guys dipped into Cobra Kai yet? Asked Stunlock Joe. I got to see very little. Scribbles,
I saw the first episode so far, and I approve. At least so far, there's a lot in there to like, and I'm actually really surprised because I hadn't thought about the guy who played Danny ever. I'm surprised he's still alive. I'm surprised they were able to get him to come back to act, but yeah, no, so far it's really good, and actually is an interesting turn of focus given what happened.
What's his name? Johnny?
Sorry, Johnny, not Danny. My apologies.
Yeah, Danny was Ralph Macchio.
Sorry. No, I got my mixed up. Sorry.
I've been looking at it for a while. Next time I'm at Walmart, I'm gonna get the Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3 set. 1 because I really do like that movie. 2 because that little what is she, Korean? What I don't know what she is. His girlfriend in that movie is cute as shit. And 3 just because I'm never gonna watch it.
What about the next Karate Kid?
I've never seen it and don't want to.
But Hillary Swank, monkey.
I'm good.
Oh, okay.
Catherine says, it's my daughter's 2nd birthday tomorrow. Can she have an early song? What's her name? Let us know. And absolutely. Have you seen the Clementine Ford thing? Pat, I saw you tweeted it out, but I didn't read the story. Something about male suicide rates, and she's going to be part of something. But I didn't read it all. Sorry.
It's a group that is like a suicide prevention group or whatever, and people are boycotting not to let her be included because of some of the shit that she said about men and male victims.
I'm going to address this real quick. Jean-Pierre says, when I get a mic, may I please go on your show? The way I decide who to invite on the show, it's people that I've watched stream and who I'm pretty sure will be engaging. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not engaging or anything, but it's different when you're talking than when you're typing. So maybe one day, but it would have to be something where I kind of stumbled across it. Did we get a name from Catherine? Is that Elise Marie? Am I reading that right? Elise, Elyse. Hello.
What's up?
Somebody help me make sure I'm saying this name right. Is it Elise Marie? It's from Catherine. It's. You might have to scroll just a little bit.
Yeah, Elise. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Catherine. She finally answered. Um, let's see. We will get back to questions here in a minute, and this is for a 2-year-old, so I'm not going to start out creepy. Elise, this is for you for your 2nd birthday tomorrow, and that's awesome. That's cool. I love kids. So, and a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
dear Elise Marie.
Elise Marie.
Happy 2nd birthday.
Happy birthday
to you.
Subscribe to our channel.
Happy birthday, kiddo. Welcome to the world. I hope we didn't fuck it up too bad for you. Let's see. What? Oh. I hope we didn't screw it up too. See
yeah, I've heard him swear around Grand Monkey a couple of times now, and it's just
she corrects me for it.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So
Grandpa, that's a bad word.
No, she'll look at you and go, "What'd you say?"
What'd you say, fool?
And you go, I nothing. Don't. And she goes, "You said a bad word."
I said poopy.
Yes, I did.
I said purple.
What was the other story, Pat? Pat? I saw your other one. Where was it? Scrolling down. Oh, yeah, the Boy Scouts. That happened today.
Mm-hmm.
The Boy Scouts. I woke up. The first tweet I saw today was your Scribe.
Okay.
Where you pointed out that because it's now Scouts BSA, which is go ahead.
So if you take the acronym and break it out into its actual words, the full title of the Boy Scouts of America is now Scouts Boy Scouts of America.
Yes.
Which is just like, okay.
Sounds like you had a little mini stroke when you're saying it. Here's the thing, guys. This was a decision they made all by themselves. And to my knowledge, there wasn't a huge push for the girl thing. There were a couple of people asking for it, but this wasn't like a court decision where they had to allow gays. And this is what they were like, yeah, we're going to let girls in. And that's fully in their rights. I do think it's fucked up that we can't have boys and girls separated to do their own things. But, I mean, it's a private company. Let them do what I have no problem with them doing what they want to do. What say you guys?
I don't care. I was never included in the Scouts. So I don't give a fuck. One thing I will say, though, is I will say that the argument that the difference in what they do in both of the Scouts was kind of an issue because it was very presumptuous of what little boys and little girls wanted to do when they went. And I'm like, some girls want to do shit that the boys are doing and vice versa. And if I remember correctly, boys are able to join the Girl Scouts, right? I think. Yeah, so, I mean, whatever. I don't care.
The Raz Dazzler says, why not Scouts of America? Because that would have made sense.
Yeah, exactly. Just Scouts.
Well, because they want to keep the Boy Scouts name.
I guess so.
Yeah, and I don't know. Again, it's a private company. I don't care what they do with them. As long as they're not being forced to do it, I'm okay with it. I asked this jokingly on Twitter, but I do wonder about it. Boy Scouts go camping, and girls have periods, and that can lead to problems. So, are they not going to let girl Boy Scouts go camping if they're on their period?
I don't know.
Anyhow, Harbos Marvel says that they're apparently keeping the Girl Scouts just for girls. Last I heard, there were people on Twitter who are in the Girl Scouts who say there's boys in their troops. So maybe it's not a organizational thing. It's more of a, what's the word I'm looking for here? A franchise thing. Each group can make their own thing. Renting Monkey, are you talking about attracting bears? Yep. Yes, I am. Introducing the new period badge.
Oh God.
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Sorry, guys. I know there's a whole bunch of questions that I've missed here. I do apologize for that. Black Pilled Monk asked, "Were you a scout, Monkey?" No, I was not. Satsu, you said you weren't Scribe, were you?
I was a Cub Scout. I never made it all the way up to Boy Scouts.
Okay. Monkey, did she make a swear jar? You know what? That would actually be a good idea. I think that would be cool. Is Ranting Monkey an instrument? And my birthday's in 2 weeks, and I'll be 26. My birthday's on May 11th. On May 11th, come by and I'll sing to you. But you're going to be 26, so you get the creepy opening. Sorry.
Reserve the creepy openings for adults.
Wait, Green Death said, wait, Ranting Monkey and Scribe Light can actually sing? That hurts. That hurts. My throat is very sore today, so that wasn't even the best I could do. We played the last 2 nights until 5 in the morning, so I've talked from 9 o'clock at night until 5 in the fucking morning. I gotta stop doing that. It's gonna kill my voice. Feminist Ghostbusters 2. No, thank you. Karate Kid for movies you should have watched. I think it's a little bit too well known.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of an obvious choice. Something a little bit more subversive is usually what we go for, or at least not as well known.
Was there a good, yes, actually, it would be a great one if you were trying to do that kind of movie, a martial arts movie would have been Bloodsport. Bloodsport,
with Jean-Claude Van Damme, yeah.
Because that was a very niche movie. There were a lot of people who never saw that one. What are you 3 doing for Cinco de Mayo? Nothing, because I'm American.
I'm probably going to post as I do every year, the Cinco de Mayo video.
Try my best to dodge and stiff arm fucking comments and shit about how racist it is that white people celebrate.
Oh, Jesus, yeah.
Who's hosting on Cinco de Mayo? That will be me. That's this coming Saturday, guys. What would be 5 films on your films you shouldn't have watched? I'm not going to answer that because it's something we may do one day. How about Heavyweights, the movie about fat kids camp?
Oh God, I remember that now that you say the title.
I remember that. I would be more inclined. See, those ones are. It's kind of a almost straight comedy kind of thing. Am I the only scout leader in this stream? I don't know. Certainly at least among the hosts here.
Yeah. Definitely wasn't a scout leader.
Why not do He-Man? That might be on the movies you shouldn't watch.
Oh, God.
Are you guys doing a Star Wars stream on the 4th? You have to talk to Scribbles. That's his night.
I'm not planning on it. That's what, Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I know that Sylvanas is planning on doing a Star Wars stream that day. I think while I'm working, she's going to do some stuff on, I don't know, I think it's her channel or Chaos 120. I'm not quite sure. I forget all of a sudden, but ask Sylvanas about it. Yeah, Sylvanas is in there. She can tell you.
I'd love to see you guys do Gross Point Blank. If we were going to do, I would rather do Point Break.
Oh, yeah. Gross Point Break? What?
The original Point Break. If I could talk Scribbles into it, I'd do that movie. Let's see, guys. Questions, comments, anything you want us to know? I hate the movie Bloodsport. What the hell?
What?
John, that was a great movie. Celebrating the Spanish beating the French. Really Mexican holiday? Yeah. Did you hear Ice Poseidon called out Medicare and the Ralph retort? I did not.
Though Ice Poseidon's not much of in a good position right now, regardless. So.
Yeah, if I were him, I'd be keeping my head down and not talking about much. Because, I mean, he taped himself talking about criminal behavior.
Yeah, and also stealing an iPad.
Have you culled the herd in Far Cry 5?
I don't know what that means.
Culled the
Have we
herd.
beat it? Is that what he said?
I beat the game. Is that one of the? I did see that it had like a almost 2 GB update, but I haven't turned it on since then.
That was Jacob's statement. Remember?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, cull the herd.
What films have you and Scribe disagreed? Films that should be on films you should watch.
I don't think we've had like an out and out like you said something and I said no, or vice versa.
Yeah, no, I mean we've had some disagreements about parts of the movies we've done.
Sure.
Scribbles wasn't as big a fan of Tin Cup as I am, and I know there was another one that you really liked that I just had a few minor things, but they've never been. These are still good movies.
Yeah.
Watch them. Is it safe to say 1, 2, and 3 are better than the sequels? Which
1, 2, and 3 of what?
Thank you. That was my question.
Like, yes, 1, 2, and 3 are the best numbers.
Yes.
All the other numbers suck.
1 is the loneliest number.
Medicare is a very simple man. He wants chaos and doesn't care where it comes from. Dangerous considering his influence. This is from Nothing for You Here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's dangerous. And it's not so. I mean, yeah, he enjoys the chaos, but it's not like he starts it. He just finds it and laughs at it. So I don't have a problem with that.
And his influence is he's not responsible for his influence. So whatever. Only his own actions.
Lots of people are guessing what the 1, 2, and 3s in relation to. We'll have to wait until Jean-Pierre tells us. Who's going to win the cup, Las Vegas or Winnipeg? Hang on, let me get a. Do I have a coin?
Yeah. Do I care?
I know nothing about hockey.
I know nothing.
Hockey. I have no coin. I'm going to go with Las Vegas.
Viva Las Vegas!
Jean-Pierre was talking about Star Wars.
1, 2, and 3 are better than the sequels.
If you're talking about A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi, yes.
No, that's the original series. If we're talking about Force Awakens and Last Jedi, it is amazing to say, but the prequels in aggregate are better than the newest sequels thus far.
Yep.
And I mean, it's yeah, I could go on for a long time about that. I won't do it now.
Black Pilled Monk says Medicare's a sellout. How so? I'm interested in your opinion on that because I wouldn't agree with it, but I'm curious if you can bring me to your side on that.
Okay, this Patreon's making like $3,000 a month or something.
Well,
people were calling them a sellout for the Patreon, so I mean,
yeah.
I've never understood this. I see this with artists all the time. You know, if they start making money, they're a sellout. You know what?
Yeah.
Nobody gets into this shit to do it for free.
To be fair, Mr. Medicare was talking a significant amount of shit about people who had like Patreons and stuff, and even before he set his up, he prefaced the video with like, I realize how this might look because I talk so much shit about people who have like Patreons and shit. But
yeah, well, there's real quick. Has the lightning calmed down? Yes, it's calmed down as far as I can tell. There's a difference between being a hypocrite and life changing your mind.
Yeah, of course.
I think he talked something about having some medical issues that it sort of like tapped him out at that point or something. Yeah.
If he was still saying shit about people making money while doing it himself, that would be hypocritical. Let's see. What else do we have here, guys? Oh, will be some kick as a promotion. I don't know what that means. Medicare wants chaos. She's in high demand tonight. Well played, Terry. Let's see. Hypocritical hippogriff. I don't. Oh, okay. I have a steam cleaner for a microwave that looks like an angry mother-in-law.
Whoa. Oh, okay.
I have no idea what that means. Okay.
Word salad is word salad.
Selling out is taking money against your principles. Yes, exactly. Ranting Monkey, have you ever had a rat problem? No, we get field mice every year as soon as it starts getting cold, and we promptly kill them and don't have to worry about them again until the next year.
Unless you're talking about the band, then everybody's got a rat problem.
Well, he only put one T.
So that's never mind.
One T.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not rats out here. There's just little field mice. And yeah, every goddamn year, as soon as it starts turning cold. Used to be funny when we had cats, man. They enjoyed that, but now we have to use the little traps and break their little necks. Yeah, one day I came downstairs and there was a rat laying right by my chair. Not a rat, sorry, a little mouse, and he had no skin left. My cat had peeled him. It was funny as shit.
Every time I think, like every time somebody mentions a mousetrap, I picture that video of those squirrels that were like up in that dude's attic or whatever, and he put mousetraps up there to deal with them, and it snapped down on his nose, and the squirrel like started he was tapping his foot on the ground like really fast, like God damn that hurts.
Oh,
I was like, you ain't never see that?
I haven't. He tried to kill squirrels with a mousetrap.
Well, he didn't. I don't think he knew what was up in there, but he figured it was mice. So he put mousetraps up there, and he put a camera up there to see. And the squirrel walked up and was trying to get whatever was on the mousetrap, and it didn't get his neck. It just snapped down on his nose, and he like bounced back and started tapping his foot on the ground, and he closed his eyes real hard. It was like, God damn it! And it just looked so funny. I'm like, I know that sucked. And he just sat there for a while like, fuck.
Any alien abductions ever happen where you live, Monkey? Not that I'm aware of. Let's see. Oh, excuse me. They make those sticky traps. Those sticky traps are mean as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to build the better mouse. This goes back to the whole guillotine thing. The French once did a huge experiment to find out the best way to kill somebody, the most humane way. And it's literally cutting somebody's head off because you die pretty much instantly. And with the mousetrap thing, yeah, it's horrible because you're breaking their little necks, but they die pretty quick. Those little sticky traps, man. I had a friend who did that once, and this mouse got stuck on it, and it just started. It was the most horrible sound I've ever heard. And you're supposed to throw it in the trash. Now the thing's got to starve to death. That's fucked up. Jack Gunsky says, Medicare, to me at least, is a hypocrite because he's never taken down JF, and we all know JF is a perfect Medicare target. I don't think that makes him a hypocrite necessarily. I have wondered why he never hit JF because, yeah, I think JF would be perfect for Medicare, but everybody gets to, I mean, if somebody else wants to make a JF video, it's on them, not him.
Mm-hmm. Right. His channel.
Scribe Light, do you partake in Oktoberfest?
No, I'm not a beer drinker.
Let's see. You know what, guys? We're going to end it here. Oh. I think we've got all the questions. And guys, thank you so much for all the questions tonight. Thank you for engaging like you do. You guys are amazing. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you guys showing up every night. Don't forget, Saturday, Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo.
$20 nip stream. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 waiting. And we'll have more then. Scribe, Satsu, a pleasure as always. Everyone, your life makes me sad. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.